Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Biographyology, today Saint Martha, and after we've done it, we're going to do extensor carpi ulnaris strength training. Yeah, this meant muscle and tendon here. And if you participate in the extensor carpi ulnaris strength training, then it's at your own risk. And this is part 2 to Saint Martha. Now we want to gather the information together, we want to have, and then make a presentation about Martha. She's the patronage of cooks, housewives, and sisters. And she is the sister of Mary and of Lazarus of Bethany. So her full name is then Mary Bethany, Lazarus Bethany, or Lazarus of Bethany. Okay, she has the siblings Mary and Lazarus. Jesus visited the household of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus several times, and it is likely that they were good friends of his. A famous scene is described in Luke's Gospel when Martha is busy with domestic tasks while her sister Mary sits with Jesus. Indignant, Martha asks him to tell her to help with the housework, but Jesus defends Mary because she is listening to the word of God. And in Christian tradition, the two sisters have come to symbolize the twin virtues of the active and contemplative lives. Many of those who have dedicated themselves to worthy causes have championed Martha as their role model. I don't understand the second part of the text. I don't know what contemplative means. That's the big problem. And I don't get the other part. So we're going to tell us the story of Mary and Martha. And Martha was the one working. Mary was listening. Yes, and this sentence, when that is the important one, but we have that right. Martha asks Jesus to tell to Mary that Mary should help in the housework. But Jesus then defends Mary because she is listening to the word of God. Now here's into the picture. In the biblical scene of a visit to the house of Mary and Martha, Christ regarded both expressions of a sister's devotion, though different, as equally virtuous. Okay, that's the point. Both are equally virtuous. Listening to the word of God and also to work. Another time she mentioned, and there, the only other occasion of Martha's appearance in the Gospels is at the time of her brother Lazarus' death. It is she, not Mary, who first comes out of the house to greet Jesus, and true to the character intimated in the earlier episode, she complains that he arrives too late, it seems, to save Lazarus. Despite the death of her brother, Martha's faith in Jesus remains unshaken, and it is she in whom he famously confides that he is the resurrection and the life. Okay, that is important. And it is Martha, or Saint Martha, to whom Jesus tells that he is the resurrection and the life according to the Bible. As this episode proceeds to its climax, so that Lazarus is dead, and Jesus asks for the stone to be rolled away from the entrance to Lazarus' tomb, Martha, ever mindful of practical matters, points out that by now the 4th day of burial, there will be a great stench if the stone is removed. I don't know what the stench is. Not okay. Maybe I know it, but I can't really understand it, so maybe I don't know. Okay, I don't really understand that thing there. I have a theory how that story goes. I think I heard it once, but I'm not sure about how the story goes. And because I don't know it, I'm not going to tell the story. And because I don't know how the story goes, we also cannot tell what is described to that story. That doesn't make sense without telling how that story works out. That means we're not going to tell that story. Basically, the two things we're going to tell, apart of that she is the patronage of cooks, housewives, and sisters, and that she's the sister of Lazarus and Mary, the scene with the listening, and that both are virtuous. To listen to the God of work, to the word of God, and to do housework are both virtuous. And that it is she to whom Jesus tells that he is life and resurrection. He is the resurrection and the life. That is important. The resurrection and the life. Okay. We could add something to the later traditions here in France. The Mary of this household was traditionally identified with Mary Magdalene, According to medieval legend, she and Martha accompanied Lazarus on an evangelical mission to the Provence in southern France, and Martha's relics are enshrined there at Tarascon. We could add that there's another story told, there's a medieval legend told, but I don't know to whom according what is, where she traveled with her both siblings to the Provence in southern France, and that also her relics are there at Tarascon enshrined. She is said to have tamed a dragon by throwing holy water over it and wrapping her sash around its neck. She then led the dragon to Arles, where it was slain. Why? It was tamed. But okay. We have it all together, I think. I'm going to start the second camera and I try to save it. Saint Martha. Saint Martha was the sibling of Mary and of Lazarus, and she's the patronage of housewives, of cooks, and of sisters. Let's see one thing again. Okay, that is it. Saint Martha. Saint Martha is the patronage of housewives, of cooks, and of sisters, and she has the siblings Lazarus and Mary. In the Gospels, in Luke's Gospel, there is told a story, and there is told that occasionally, as it happens occasionally, Jesus was visiting them, and when Martha was doing work, domestic work, and Mary was listening to Jesus. And then Martha said to Jesus that Jesus should tell to Mary that Mary should help with working. But when Jesus said that she is also good with listening, she's listening to the word of God, and that both are virtuous things, to work and to listening to the word of God. Another occasion is told that Jesus told to Martha that he is the resurrection and the life. And there's also some later stories that she traveled then with her siblings Mary and Lazarus to the Provence in southern France, and that her relics are there enshrined. And there's also a story told where she tamed a dragon and then led the dragon into Arles, where the dragon then was slain. And that is according to Malcolm Day's The Treasury of Saints book on the page 40. I think I said it all. I'm going to stop the camera. And that was the biographyology part. If you were here for biographyology, you can go directly to the next part of biographyology. If you stay here and participate in the extensor carpal ulnar strength training, then is that at your own risk. We're standing good and stable, and we're having the hands formed to fists next to us, and we're bringing them down the floodgate. And we're having 3 rules. The first rule is that we're stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. Together. The second rule is that we're going only as far as we can go with a little bit of effort. And together. And the third rule is that we're not overdoing it. We just want to strengthen, not to exhaust. Next exercise, the counterfeit money check fists and bring them up. And up. And you can use now a towel or a t-shirt or something else. Have it in the fist and press onto it with good or moderate force. And now bring the fist again down. And down. Now with the other hand, press evenly with the whole fist, bring it down. With all fingers, also with the fourth and fifth. And down. And again with the first hand, press good, and then turn the hand to the other side. And again. Again down. And again. And with your mind, press good and turn inwards. And up. And now frontal from top, press good and bring the hand down. And again. Down. And with your mind, press good and bring the fist up. And up. And up. And now, just press in neutral position. And with your mind. And expose the extensor cover and now strength training. Thank you very much and have a nice time.